Thank you so much. I feel so honored. This is the second time I've been to one of your meetings that have been asked twice. It's really amazing. I had a question that I need to receive clarity on, and that is, to what extent does the negativity that I hold about other desires affect the desire that I want? If say I'm in vibrational alignment with what I truly want, there seems to be no resistance. I know it's coming, and yet there are other spheres of my life that are negative. Does that translate over into receiving the desire that I like?
Well, sometimes it can, and sometimes it doesn't make a difference. It depends. For example, let's say that, in other words, it is possible for someone to desire financial well-being and allow it because their expectation is just there. And at the same time desire a relationship that isn't happening because their negative expectation is there. In other words, it is possible to have a vibration of allowing relative to one thing and a vibration of not allowing relative to another. But one thing is certain. When you are deliberately reaching for thoughts that feel good, for the moment that you are having that thought, you are in the place of allowing all things that you consider to be good. And so we think that what we're really talking about here is, let's say that there is a subject that is very troubling to you, but you don't think about it that often. So it's not a big player in your vibration, and therefore it's not very hindering. While you have another subject that feels very good to you, and it's a subject that you think about a great deal, then that subject could really serve you. Often you meet people who their lives have not been going very well for whatever reason, but then they meet a new lover, and they're so exhilarated about the new relationship that everything in their life starts turning around. And it's because this new relationship, which dominates a good deal of their attention, causes them to vibrate in a place of allowing more of the time. The reason that we are encouraging the pretending or the game of virtual reality is that as you deliberately reach for thoughts that feel good, and you show yourself how easy it is to choose a good feeling thought, until you sort of become addicted to reaching into the soup or sea of possibilities to come up with good feeling things, then what happens is all things that you want just flow easily into your experience.
Thank you.
In other words, we would never encourage you to say, well, I can hold this negative thought because it's not really a problem. No reason to do that. One more thing, let us give you another little piece to this. Sometimes you're moving along, your life is going very well. And that's because the preponderance of vibration within you is mostly good feeling. Another way of saying that is the vibrations that are within you that have been activated by your consistent thought are, for the most part, aligning with source energy kinds of thoughts. And you're doing very well. Then you meet someone. Maybe it's someone who comes into your work environment, or maybe it's somebody who moves next door to you. And as you begin interacting with them, you begin feeling less good. And you don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. The person really does not have that much to do with you, but you find yourself not feeling as good, and your life begins to not be as good. What has happened is you had some dormant vibrations within you that person has activated. It might be a feeling of insecurity. It might be, it could be any number of things that weren't an issue to you until you come into vibrational harmony with that person, and now you've got this active vibration, this newly activated vibration that starts to ripple out into your life experience. The good news is you feel it every time it begins to bubble a little. And if you've been practicing the game of virtual reality, you can deliberately choose other thoughts, and you can practice now this new vibration relative to that vibration until you now leave it in a whole new place. In other words, some people believe that you have to dig in, get all of those old beliefs out, get them on the table, and change them into something more. We think that that's like surgery with a chainsaw. In other words, it's way more than any of you need. What we recommend is when you feel some negative emotion, just stop and say, oh good, my guidance system is letting me know that for whatever reason, something has been activated within me that doesn't serve me. Now let me see if I can do some virtual reality to put that to a more peaceful, joyful rest. You get a sense of it? Yes.
Excellent. I have been practicing that in the last 6 months, and it does work. I had a question relative to crop circles. Are they real? Are they produced by extraterrestrials, and what is their meaning?
Well, they're like so many things. When someone asks us about the validity of something, we always say it is valid. When you ask if it is your physical earth space environment that has been altered by physical nature, in other words, did extraterrestrials come into our environment with their equipment and make that happen? The answer to that is no. Are there energies that are received by physical beings in physical environments that are projected from someplace other than this physical environment? Yes. Are they manipulating you on a physical basis? No. And so what happens is, well-meaning people who are having valid experiences with those from other places, even like Abraham, then seek to validate it so that all can experience it in those ways. And that is what that is about.
I'm a member of a group in Canada, and I go up there called the Sanctuary. They've been receiving messages as well with the White Brotherhood, and we're told there were 6 other areas that were called Sanctuary in the world. Do you happen to know anything about that and where they are?
Well, here's the thing. When people are specifically looking for something like that, then answers always come forth. In other words, it falls into the arena of energy vortexes, and we're not very excited about pointing out particular areas or places while we understand that others might do so in response to specifically asked questions. We would rather that you understand that you are the vortex. In other words, we would rather that you adjust your vibration and align with Source so that you are inspired to be wherever you are wanting to be, because there are so many lovely experiences to be had other than in those 6 places. And there is a tendency to say, well, where are the places that satisfy my dominant desire? And then you find yourself in a limited experience. It's sort of like saying, here is the basis for the reason for our answer. If you believe that there is danger abounding, but that there are safe havens, and so you take yourself to that place that you believe is safe, and you eliminate your exposure to all else, you are living a very limited experience. And we see it as unnecessary, because we understand that by looking into the broader scope and selectively sifting that which you choose and achieving vibrational harmony with that which is your preference, that law of attraction will always guide you toward your preference, and you'll still be in a framework that is free. You get a sense of it?
Yes.
Much more joyful way to approach it. You did not say as you came into this physical body, well, we'll just eliminate all things that bother us and we'll just find this safe little place, because that would lead toward endedness. You said, I will go into this variety, and from this variety will be born my preference, and then I will align with my preference and the universe will yield it to me. See, law of attraction, no law of assertion. We are not saying that the information that you have been receiving is not valid. It is. It is coming in response to the specific vibrational questions that have been offered. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Abraham, thank you so much. My heart just, wow.
We're all in this together.
I know, but I'm at the point of tears. Such a joyful experience. Thank you. You spoke about a virtual reality exercise. My position 2 months ago, March 1st, ended by happy mutual agreement the employer felt for economic reasons, I realized I was ready to move on. The past 2 months have been an incredible time involving probably about 8 different interviews. And yet, I realized after listening to several of your tapes, this occurred 5 days ago, the universe will deliver exactly what you want. I decided to stop compromising the energies. And this fits so beautifully into my experience, your comments earlier this morning, because it's allowing me to realize that, yes, I can go for broke. And my specific question involves a position where
But before you go further, we want to ask you something.
Sure.
You can go for broke, but do you need to? In other words, do the stakes need to be so high?
Shall we say that was a too hard trying a statement, okay? I can joyfully flow. I choose to joyfully flow with it.
Well, it doesn't matter what words you now try to change them to.
That's good. That was good.
The vibration is what the vibration is.
I understand.
And what we're saying to you is, we want to hear more from you, but before we do, we want to just throw some things out for you, because you can tell with very little effort what your dominant vibration is about everything that matters. And we'll demonstrate here just for a moment.
Okay.
All of you can play along. As you think about dollars, ask yourself, does dollars feel to me like freedom and fun and fancy and fantasy and freedom being the operative word, freedom, good feeling? Or do dollars feel like pressure, a little worry, not enough, inhibited? In other words, how do dollars feel? You don't have to answer, just feel it. All of you just sort of feel it. Now think about relationship. Think about your dominant relationship. Does your dominant relation feel like life-giving, fun-loving, milk snorting out the nose? Or does it feel like struggle and trouble and tiring? In other words, you can sort of tell where you're going with your. Does your physical body, does it feel like vital and alive and healthy, or does it feel like tentative and wary and worried? You can tell. You can tell what vibration you've practiced most. And almost without exception, on all of these subjects that we've offered, you can feel that it's way more one way than the other. In other words, sometimes you'll say, well, it's a little bit of both. And we say, well, that's good if it's a little bit of both, because if it's a little bit of both, then you can choose the one you want and really amplify that. And in many cases, it is a little bit of both, but you can definitely tell which way the scales are tipping. Well, this virtual reality game that we're talking about is designed to tip the scales in the direction of that which you are wanting, because you can't really help, as you were growing up, the way life touched you. You weren't thinking about vibration. You've been trained to be objective. You've been trained to weigh the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses. You've been trained to tell it like it is, to be honest always, to be factual. In other words, you've been trained to face reality. And what we are saying to you now, in light of what you are understanding about vibration, is that sometimes facing reality is not the best way of going about it. Adjusting your vibration is the best way of going about it. So, when you say, I'm going to go for broke, or when you say, I can have anything that I want, what we can feel in your vibration is, I've had interviews that aren't perfect, I've had jobs that aren't perfect, I've had work situations that weren't perfect, and I'm going to make this one more perfect. But in the attempt to make it more perfect, there is the activation of the vibration that wasn't perfect, that it sort of all becomes part of the mix. So the way you clean that up is by, in your words, going for broke, by reaching for a little piece of something that easily feels good and just fixating on it. In other words, the reason that we are challenging just a little bit your statement of going for broke is because there's a whole lot easier way of going about it. You don't have to take everything that you think you know about what you want relative to this work environment and now pack it into a powerful creation or imagery. You don't have to do that because you've been launching those desires all along. In other words, that perfect picture has already been honed, it has been mined, it has been discovered, and it has been rocketed by you little by little by little over a long period of time.